Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning coffee. Doodle-doo. I'm of course a few minutes late, as is tradition. This time the excuse is because I was filling up the cooling tower, which is required as an essential. I'm poorly, as is also tradition, as I've been to somewhere with people, so I'm poorly. But I'm actually feeling a bit better. Although I can see myself and I'm looking a bit rough, but it's fine. It's fine. Lots to talk about. Lots of new viewers in there that have yet to like and subscribe. Dun, dun, dun. Flora, oh, who's there? Is asking, how do I see all of the other videos? Well, if you go on to the YouTube channel after you've subscribed and rung the notification bell, there's a section called News, and all of them are in the News section, as well as some extra bits of news. So you can entertain yourself with what some of them aren't an hour long, but a good 300 hours probably of this. If that's what you wanted to do with your life. Well, slipping away. Oh, hello. Oh man, I should have took a picture of. I've got another thing. I'll post that. I'll post that. Right, wait. On the notes. Very, very professional. Is this? Um. Da-da-da-da. So, firstly, hello everyone. Properly. I'm knackered. And I'm ill. But I've been forcing myself to not be ill by taking Andy's mystery tablets, which I think I've mentioned to you before. Andy has some sort of tablet that cures all. I don't know what it is. It's legal, and I partly don't want to know what it is. But I took some of Andy's mystery drugs last night, which makes you very drowsy. But I do feel a little bit better. So it works again. It's not crashed. It's not. Maybe no, it's not. It's not. So hello. So if you are new here, what we do every week is a roundup of what's happened in the Bad Squiddo week. It's very informal, as you know already. I've usually just got up, which is standard, and we just kind of talk about what's been going on. The chat there is very nice. Everyone's really lovely, which is will then lead me on to Kamping Kitbash, which was last weekend. So that's why there was no show last week. Let me just slurp this coffee, the coffee of niceness. Yay! Got lots of people that were at Belgium in the chat. Yay! Yay! It's exciting. Subscribe. Yeah, I've been. If I'm better today, then I'll have been all right. Right. Let me just slurp this. The elixir from the cooling tower. As all these people are here, you're back. It's like being at Kamping Kitbash. Right, put that there. Right. So I was going to start with some other things, but seeing as we've got the Kitbash folk here, let's get into it. So I last week on Thursday to Monday, yay, Hannah City. Thursday to Monday, I was in Ghent in Belgium, which is why I abandoned you all. But I did not abandon, in fact, the opposite. I met a whole bunch of people who are in the chat at the moment. Um, and we went to a thing called, I'm getting closer. We went to an event called Kamping Kitbash, and one of the organisers is in the chat right now. Uh-oh. And the last time that happened, Mesreg, Dan's the man. One of the organisers, or one of the core, what's the word? Ideas men. Along with Tina, who you will probably know of by now, who is Tina Fielding, who makes all of the little cutesy sculpties. So that Tina and Dan went, what if we do an event and everyone just comes and dicks around for the weekend? And they made it happen. The team, like 20 volunteers, it's in the end. Me struggling to live. Have aged significantly since the weekend. Um, so yeah, it was like Mates and Minis. If you watch the show after Mates and Minis, where I was just like, it's so nice. It's basically that, but over. It's officially 3 days. We were there for 5 days with travel, which was very very fun. So I met up with Pablo, the Still Tower, in Nottingham because he's Nottingham based. We got the train to London, and we played Nefertafel, which I hadn't actually played before. I bought it, and then I realised that I'd bought some weird version of it, which I still can't find the exact rules for. But I think I found a way of playing the Irish version. But we spent a lot of the journey trying to get phone signal, going, how the heck do we play it on a 7x7? Because it's usually played on an 8 or 9. Uh, so there you go. 9. Oh no, 9 or 11. Um, then obviously we had some sort of train shenanigans where all the trains were cancelled and the signal was bad, and we ended up like legging it through London, chasing an old man who was really fast. We lost him a couple of times, and then we met up with some of the people in the chat. We've got Mangling Minis. What you should do, actually, everyone I mentioned, I've not linked in the thing at all, but on Terran's video, who's Conjured Craft, so if you open a tab with Conjured Craft, he's done a video about the event, which will be way more comprehensive and coherent than this. And in the description, he's linked all of the links of all the people that he's gathered together so far. So you should follow all of those people because they're all amazing. So I met up with Mangling Minis and Narcoleptic Wizard, which is Tara and Jack, who are in the chat. That was kind of a grab, who I had met at Mates and Minis, and thought, these guys seem really nice. I'm going to go to Belgium with these guys. And we also met. Why were you chasing a random fast old man? Because he knew the way. He knew the way. And I also met the Blight Bones, who is called Ryan, um, who I'd not met before. So it was a nice. I like knowing a person maybe before I go into a thing because then I've got my crutch, and it turned out that everyone was just the best. So I won't go through all the details of like, and then we went through customs. Then Pablo made a joke with the customs man. No, no. um, so we played Tonks, travel Tonks on the way to Belgium, and I've never played Tonks, and I won. So I think I'm going to retire from Tonks now. That is a game by Ben, who is, I cannot say the name. Is it Apocrypha now? Apocrypha now. It's got now on the end. So we played Little Tonks. Little Tonks. That was fun. And we met a slurp. Then we met. I'm actually doing well considering I was kind of dying yesterday. Andy's. I should. Gonna say I should probably sell Andy's mystery drugs, but I probably shouldn't. But I can recommend going to Andy and getting his mystery drugs, or not. Get your own prescription. Find out what Andy does have, and do that. Yeah. So we met Dan. We met Dan. After various discussions on how we pronounce Dan's name, we decided to pronounce it in all ways. So we met Dan. He is Mesreg in there. There he is. I don't know which way. Um, he helped us get to Always a Best. Mondays worming and dream cleaning pills. If it works, that's the slogan. If it works, it works. Um, so yeah, we went short story. We went to Ghent. Ghent is wicked. Ghent is beautiful. It's a very artsy, liberally lovely place. Um, it's it's just really nice. So upon arriving, it's just like, especially when you've been from Nottingham, which doesn't really have that many sort of landmarks. We've got Batman's house, which I was telling everyone they should come see Batman's house, but the centre's not got, particularly. I say that. We've got the castle in the way. That area is nice, but the main bit's not. So anyway, sorry, Nottingham. Nottingham does have really nice cave stuff. Actually, I've totally undersold Nottingham. I'm so used to everyone else saying Nottingham's crap. It's actually not. We do have a very disappointing castle in Nottingham. That is the truth. But the rest of it's kind of cool. The bits around it. Yes. So, what was I talking about? So we all stayed in a hostel. And my last hostel experience was the one I told you about where I thought I was going to die because they were like me and 20 guys and in the triple bunk thing. And it was the party hostel. Um, and I was going for a World War II talk, party hostel. Yes, you remember my experience. Was like, oh no, I hope it's not quite that. But I was ready. I was ready if I had to. Um, well, look at everyone in the comments. See, everyone's so nice. Is that food I've got there? What's going on? Get those lovely things. No. So there were six of us because we'd had to cram, so we did have six in a room, which was over full. But it meant that the next nights we could split up and have less people in the room, so it wasn't as cramped. Although there was like 20 guys in that last one, so six was still pretty nice. But none of us wanted to move under the threat of the others, I think. I like to think it's because we were bonded. We had the bond and nobody wanted to go, which was really cute. But also the one that left knew they'd be exiled permanently. I think that was more of the truth. Um so, so that's a little theme setting for the weekend that we all just made these just really lovely friends and it was really nice. So those lads, not Pablo, he buggered off. He went and got an upgraded sofa. Um, but the other lads, Dan, and we met Anna from Gardens of Hecate, and I've been practicing her surname, Polansk. I think Anna Polansk. I think it's Suk. She said I should remember it as Poland Sack. So that's how. God, just lots of chat going on with these people. Um, so Anna from Gardens of Hecate, uh, and she was so cool. And at first, I thought she was a bit daunting, because I do get scared sometimes. Strangers, and then realised she was actually like the coolest person, but the funniest person as well, which is always good. Because I was just like, oh no, I knew she'd be in there. I knew she'd be in there hiding. I was like, God damn it. Polansk, Polansk, Polansk. Is that it? Is that it? But yeah, I did think that Anna was a bit scary at first, just because I was like, oh my god, we're not worthy, we're not worthy. She's actually hilarious. So the Gardens of Hecate in the chat. Look at that. We've got everyone apart from Blightbones that was in the room anyway. Where's Blightbones? What's he up to? What's he doing that's better than this? So we had a really lovely little room family, and the description of it that I've said a million times that I really like is that it was like being on a school trip and nobody got bullied. Just got bullied. So nice. It was like how you'd want a school trip to be rather than just the reality. I assume anyway, I just got bullied to crap. So I've just pushed on to everyone else that you probably all did as well. And if you didn't, just pretend that you did. Um, so, what are we on? So I've only got this far in, just because I'm still like, hee. Um, so yes, we did discover a bunch of the pubs around Ghent. Obviously, Troll Pub being the coolest looking one, which is full of trolls, not computer trolls. That'd be terrible. That'd be the worst pub ever. And also the wall pig. I was going to do a proper video with all of the pictures I took, but I was pondering doing it this weekend, and then I got ill and went, it's never going to happen. Just talk about it and occasionally show pictures badly on your phone. But there was a little one of them had a little pig in the wall. I don't know the story of the wall pig, but it became part of the trip. What was really nice, I haven't been to Europe or left the country since Brexit, and I'd forgot just how nice and like sort of cosmopolitan, continental. It's just a mix. They're a mix of people from all these different places. It's just really lovely. Um, and sort of brain. There's a lot of chat going on, and I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Oh no. Um, it was wall pig. Sorry, not war pig. It could have been a war pig though. A wall pig in the wall. What's that about? Belgium thing, perhaps. But yeah, people from just all over the place, and all just having fun, which is what I used to love when I went to Crisis in Antwerp. And I missed it. I really didn't realise how much I'd missed it, and it was just realised because we are in our own little weird sewage island in the UK, so it's nice to escape that for a little bit. Um, and talking of which, I've been talking to another company about potentially doing Crisis next year. It's still very early days because of the having to import export all the goods. Looks like a nightmare, but they want to do it because they are madmen. Um, but they'd said that if they do, they can take my stuff as stock. So I'll just come along, not have to do well. I'll work on their stand and help them out and be like, "Hello, hey everyone," but not have to do any of the paperwork and all that sort of stuff. So I basically just go for a bit of a holiday. Hopefully they'll sell enough bad Squiddo that they'll order a load more bad Squiddo and it'll be good. Don't get too excited yet, but they do seem quite keen. So I'm hoping. This was only the other day they mentioned it. I'm like, yes, yes. Seeing there's so many people there were like, are you going to Crisis? I'm like, no, not anymore. Because it is really hard having to now since Brexit it's basically impossible, but those guys are pretty keen to figure it out how they're going to do it. So that'd be ace. And I miss everyone at Crisis because it was so lovely, and a whole bunch of people are going. So yes, Crisis is back, but a smaller venue. Um, and yes, it's got really good feedback, so that's exciting. I don't have any notes on the Kitbash thing, which is why it's rambling. I've got notes on everything else. So I'm just kind of going through it chronologically in my head. So what was it? So we had kitbashing, we had sculpting, we had painting, we had game design, we had drawing, we had eating, we had hammocks, we had reading, we had friends, we had a silent disco. So yeah, it really was just dicking about for a few days. So it was a mixture of just do what you want and a few planned things. So Terran of Conjured Craft, he did a talk, a demo on sculpting faces, which I absolutely loved. So I did. What was that style? So I sculpted a head, and then I spent most of the next week of the weekend in the free time sculpting more heads because I got really into it. So I wanted to just keep making them and see if they got a little bit better each time, which they did. So I sculpted some faces and some heads. Also, Wilhelm Miniatures, who is Helga. I'm quite impressed that you have to learn two names for everybody, so that's a trick. So Helga of Wilhelm, I was like, oh, that's someone else that I've seen on. Oh my god! He did a tutorial on sculpting fingers, which I would have liked to do, but the other one was more beginners, and I'm definitely more of a beginner sculptor. And I do like doing stuff with faces because you can feel like the progression because you see faces so much, you can see if they get a little better each time. Oh, Flawless, I was so worried when you were in the hammock. I was ready to go into mental health rescue. No, well, that was the mental health rescue. I love that. I don't know. I'm looking out. My hammock is just there. I'm a hammock addict, so I was a little bit tired because that was the night we'd had like 3 hours sleep. Um, so I thought I'm actually gonna just chill in the hammock for a little bit. So that was it. It was just so comfy, which is again what made it's so good. So there were planned things, but it wasn't like this regimented, right, we have to do this, then we have to go to this, then this is on. I could have just lay in a hammock all weekend if I wanted to, which is so cool. Um, so oh yeah, other tutorials before I get to that. We had I can't remember his name. What's his name? The guy did a talk at Atlia. I think that's his username. Did a talk on casting for beginners. And I know those things, so I was just mostly watching. And that was fun. It was fun getting to see everyone like look at it as magic for the first time. Um, so that was really, really cute. Atlia AG, yes. Arjun, that's it. Um, yeah, he was showing off how to just do like basic casting without any like much fancy equipment sort of thing. Um, so that was really cool. There was also a talk by this guy, Mangling Minis. I don't know who he is, so I didn't go to it. Um, I didn't because I was chilling because it was a Sunday and I thought I don't have any brain. I need to debrain for a little bit. But apparently it went very well. So Mangling Minis did a talk on designing games and got everyone making little games. So isn't that nice? Um, Oh, sorry. I don't. Ugh. It's a lot of talking when I'm poorly, so let me just sort of drink more of this delicious coffee. Mm. Um, so the fact that you could just sort of hang out if that's what you wanted. If you wanted to attend all of the talks, then you could as well. Oh, there's also the painting for experimental painting with Anna, which I attended, which was excellent. Which is where I painted my toad. I need to get the things. They're here for show and tell. Don't look at my vaguely random collection of stuff. I'll be there. I'll be a sec. 9 pajamas. Come back, come back, come back. She's gonna go away. I made 3 things completed in the end, but that's not what it was about. But I feel like you should see them because, especially the frog. So the frog, it's not going to focus, so I'll just put him here. The frog was sculpted by Wilhelm. Um, and the hat was sculpted by, I don't know if it's sculpted by or is just sold by, I will find out. Narcoleptic wizards there. So the wild kit bashing that I did. It's a toad! God damn it, it's a toad! Hannah sculpted the hat! Dixie! You didn't sculpt, you swine. So Hannah sculpted the hat. Look, that's always so nice. So Hannah sculpted the hat, Wilhelm on the toad. Um, these new Vallejo paints were really nice. They've got like shampoo bottles, like they're clear and a bit squidgy. Um, and it does all the hats. Amazing, amazing. So I did a wild kit bash by sticking a hat on something. But it's just so cute. So I thought I can't really chop him up or anything because it's just look at that. So it's a little ornament on the little ornament. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Um, early on, so these were pre the face sculpting tutorial. So I'm pleased that they did okay despite not knowing about. So if you're new here, I don't know, I'm not the sculptor. I am also a fraud like narcoleptic with I hire the sculptors, so I myself am not the sculptors. It is an A for punk hat. Here it is. Woo. Um oh yeah. So I'm a fraud. So whoa. So this was me trying to sculpt for one of the first times because I don't really sculpt. It's not a fraud. We're just not the sculptor people. I just wanted to make sure in case anyone's like, oh, I don't think I'll buy from Bad Squiddo. They're a bit rough. No, that's me. I'm a bit rough. But yay, that's how is that. So before I had the tutorial, you can't see again. I sculpted these faces onto this shell. It's a real shell. Um, and then painted that. So that was kind of cool. I wanted to do lots of little faces. The first one was in honor of Mangling Minis, who I did say I was going to sculpt a face on a rock, because he's a big fan of weird faces. So that's what I kind of began, and then it just became the theme of the weekend. I wish I took a photo of this guy. Woo! beforehand because I was really happy with that. So I sculpted this section on. So it was some screamy like Pokemon guy. It wasn't a Pokemon guy, but I sculpted the face and the little hair tuft. So the ears, hands, and feet were already there. And look at that. And then paint. And then I got tips from Turnip Max on making a horrible skin. So I was testing that out. And I enjoyed. Oh, that blood effect is pretty good, isn't it? Um, so I was practicing just the grotty fleshiness on there. So I liked that. I like that little guy. So they're the three complete things that I made. But I mostly just sculpted loads of heads, and I really enjoyed it. We did a thing called Pass Along Kitbash, where is as it says, it's a bit. The music stops like magical chairs, musical chairs, and you pass the thing around every sort of 5 minutes, maybe less. And you all just keep kit bashing something. So these horrific creations are made. And then there was a painting along, which is the same thing. And I need to just, even if I just took a public gallery up somewhere, I want to dump all my photos so people can see them because I took so many lovely pictures. I'd like them to be shown. Um, but they came out really nice at the start. I was thinking, God, these are going to be monstrosities. But after you've done the first few people, most of the base coats were on. There were about 20 people doing it. So they then all got their own little details added. And because there wasn't much time, we all had very similar paints going on. Um, they came out quite cohesive because like I had a very light grey, so I was adding the light grey, and someone else had added the yellow. Um, and all these ideas I'm going to steal. I'm going to steal for SquiddoCon next year, I think, because they're all ace. I will put stolen from Camping Kitbash. Check out Camping Kitbash. But they're such fun ways, and I said before, like I used to really enjoy doing the painting stuff at Warhammer Worlds before the event, before pandemic, where you just go and paint. They give you a vague thing, so like today we're doing crackle bases, and then they gave you some sheets and just kind of gave a quick tutorial, and then you just hang in there, hang in there, and again you can sit quietly and paint, or you can chat to people. And I do struggle sometimes, and I know that you see me here. Um, being confident. But I get really shy, especially when I'm not there as bad Squiddo. I'm suddenly like, oh no, oh. So if there's something to sort of ease along, then that's just off camera. I'm doing this to ease into things and just make it so there's no pressure to socialize. But if you want, it's there, and I think that's the absolute like yes of it all. SquiddoCon, I'm hoping to do next year, though I'm not going to promise anything because next year's 10 years of Squiddo. And I was kind of like, but what would I do at SquiddoCon? I don't have a game. But I will. War Pigs will be a game by then. And now I know that there's other things that we can do with things like the pass along, probably not kit bashing because it'll probably just be a day. So maybe like pass along painting or something. A ball pit, yes, a ball pit. So I don't know if I do. It'd be something like summer next year, or like late, maybe something like this time next year. But I don't know yet. And if I don't, it'll be the year after because I definitely want to do it. Now I've got more things that I can do it with. Um, oh, everyone gets a free live squid. Yes. Yes. What was the hobby support group talking about my ghouls? Yeah, they said they were good. Nice. Yeah, only calamari. And again, in the like being on a school trip, I've had some really terrible school trip. To get serious now, I've had some very terrible school trip experiences. Um, and this being so nice was like I didn't realize beforehand just how this sounds cheesy, how healing it would be to have that really nice community feel. Um, maybe how the popular children felt. That we all got the slop. It wasn't delicious slop, but that sort of communal gets the food, sits down and eats. If the person you don't know is next to you, then you chat to them, or you don't have to if you just want to eat. Um, So that element of it was really nice. So we got fed the whole time. So we got boarding, we got fed. Sarah Griffiths asked out Jez out. What happened? What happened in that Are you now married to Sarah Griffiths? Is she now Sarah Hunt, or did it not end well? Mm. Mm. I should have put more notes on Kitbash. What else did we do? We had a little quiet area if you wanted to just get away from people, which I only did once, which is a rarity because I did worry. Thursday night, Thursday night, I was wibbling a little bit, and I was thinking, what have I done? What have I done? I'm in this unfamiliar place with strangers for a few days. I'm hungry. I don't know what the mystery meat is. I don't know the etiquette. Do I cross the road? Do I not cross the road? Am I tired? I don't know. Ah. Um, so I did have a bit of a wibble. I was like, I've got to do this for a few more days. But it turned out I was just tired from traveling, and it had just been a lot. Obviously, meeting new people is always a bit of a not drain. That sounds terrible, but it uses up a lot of energy, I think. So I'm really glad that we did get there Thursday, so that Friday I was like nice and fresh. We still don't know how zebra crossings work. And some of them, they said that it's okay to go across, others don't go across. There were lots of points of us just kind of stood at the sides of the road going, whilst the drivers are going, go over. We're like, I don't know. Um, what have we got? Yes. If only we had somebody that spoke the language like Dan that could stand there and tell us what the things were. But yes, Dan's there going, I don't know. I don't know what any of this stuff is. But I did have some very nice mystery meats in the end, and that also helped. I was like mystery meat and a beer, and a beer is all good. Um, don't ask the vegetarian for meat tips. And we did get chips, though. Um, but I think because I normally do like if when I have been somewhere before, although weirdly not Belgium, I think because we went with so many people and went to Crisis, I had safety in numbers. I always like to learn some of the language and stuff beforehand, and I suddenly realised that I didn't know anything, and then I was like, oh no, I feel like vulnerable because I don't know anything, and I also feel like a scum tourist. So I think all that was just like but it was fine. It was fine. So I'm really glad that I got over that. And then just had the best. I think it was like the best time ever this weekend. I made some stuff. I've had lots of philosophical meanderings of thoughts over it. Um, because felt like felt like something spiritual happened, and I don't know. It's something about um just dicking about. And this again makes minis. It's just dicking about, going and playing with people with no end goal. There's nothing that you have to have done by the end of it. You don't have to have content by the content by the end of it. It's just having fun, doing what you want. I feel like all the little happy centers in my brain were lit up for like the whole time. Um, and just getting to meet people and chat where it's free to do so. Like again, there's that whole thing about third spaces. Bye, Hannah. Hannah is going. Bye. There's no there's no motivation. Not no motivation. That's terrible. Um, no Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just doing things for the sake of doing things because you kind of stop once you become an adult, and everything has to have a purpose. And it not having a purpose gave it purpose. I don't know. I'm spinning on my chair now as well. Also, I'm like, what's going on with that? And I think people need to do it more, but I also fear that it's really hard to organise something like this. Oh no, Dan's got to go. We can talk about Dan now. Bye. Third space. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. No incentive. Yeah, that's the word. As Mangling in Miniatures says, sometimes we need to hang out with friends. Yeah, and like, but sometimes when it's just hanging, there's like that's where I get sometimes awkward because I'm never quite sure what to say. So if you've got that activity that's kind of there to do, I think that really helps. Um, when I used to crochet a lot, I'd go to like crochet meets, and it was the same thing that you've got your sort of comfort thing to do. Um, and I think, yeah, we need to do more. Like, obviously, it doesn't have to all be on that scale, but meeting up with people to just dick about. And it's given me food for thought. But it's always hard getting people out. I think especially when there's lots of commitments. It's the same as something like RPGs trying to organise people. But what I really liked is uh brain. Oh God, the sleepiness is kicking back in now. You just see me go. From Andy's mystery drugs. Um, yeah. So also it had funding. It had funding from the EU, which was able to make it so good, and it was also like the best. And they had the fact that there's resources for people to have such a good time like that is amazing. And obviously there's like nothing like that in the UK. The Mates and Mini Central Kitbash table for the eye contact avoidant people who didn't know anyone was very helpful. Yes, that was why at that one I went straight for the Kitbash table as well, because like, beer. At least you can go, what are you working on if you sat there? Because I do worry sometimes that I come across a bit aloof or something, and I'm really just freaking out because I'm like, don't want to turn up to someone and be like, "Hello, do you know what a turkey man is?" Which is pretty much what I did all last weekend. Mm. So aloof Annie, yes, very aloof, very daunting, very scary. Um, my other thoughts, yeah, just that, just it was just really nice. Part of me is not concerned, but like, will we capture the magic next year? If there are people that go, "Ooh, that would make really good content," or just people that aren't aren't very camping kit bash. So that's why I thought those two events were good because of the invitational sort of sense of it. But then maybe people that are attracted to that sort of thing would be nice anyway. You'd hope. You definitely hope. Erasmus Plus was the grant, and also amazing sponsors like the Army Painter and Monument Hobbies. Flora says, me rambling all weekend is my trauma response to other people, so I'm anxious no one likes me. Well, I did mention during the weekend, I said, aha, and this conversation will come up next week because because when I'm going back and thinking, why did I say all those weird things to all those people? But it's fine because I don't think anyone didn't like anyone. Like, we all just thought you were all ace. There's obviously a lot of various mental health issues and neurodivergence and all that in one big pot. And I think that also made it extra good because we're all very understanding of everyone else's quirks. I was going to say weirdness, good weirdness. Made it extra nice, and places where I just felt like it was just, again, it sounds cliche, a safe space for people because there's such a mix of people, and we're all just really understanding of each other, and that again was really lovely. Um, Neil says it's hard to do in the UK because the EU grant we have to get one for it. That's okay. I don't want it to be in the UK. I want to go somewhere else. UK, let's go somewhere else. Somewhere else. I'll come to that one. Um, uh, but yeah, that's I'm really excited to see what they do with that, and I'm really hoping that it spawns copycat events. Because they don't have to be as fancy. It was very lovely, but I mean, like, does each time doesn't have to be as wonderful if you've just got a room. And like it says here, if you fill a space with Nero Spicy's toy soldiers and paint, give it a shake, you end up with wholesome and wonderful environment. So yeah, maybe I'm thinking about things like if you do like almost semi-regular sort of smaller things locally so people don't aren't traveling as much. It's more accessible for people so they don't have to wait for the big wicked event. There's still some nice smaller ones. I am now already thinking, right, I need to start a collection of stuff for kit bashing because I'm very I turn down a lot of free stuff because I think I'm not going to do anything with it, but if everything can go into a big pot. um, and we had people from lots of different backgrounds. It wasn't all war gamers or tabletop gamers. Um, and So that was different angles. So there was Ruth, who was there. She won one of the prizes, um, and was a puppeteer trainee puppeteer sort of person. And then you get all different techniques and backgrounds, and just learning off each other in a really nice way. It was just so lovely. Um, and I can just keep going on about it. But it's true because it's just really really lovely, and there definitely needs more of it. Mill says it was like a crafternoon with your favourite hobby nerds. Yeah, so I like the idea of bringing a bit of that. If I do a Squiddo Con, that we can do some stuff like that. So like at Peach Con, there were just tables that you can just sit and do stuff, and that's where I got chatting to a few people at that as well. Where it's just I haven't brought anything, but I can sit. Totally going to get the army painter to sponsor me. So I hear they're sponsoring a lot right now. um, yeah, that you can just sit and paint, and then you can casually talk to the person next to you if you want to. I think that's really important because it does. Even though you're at somewhere with lots of other nerds, you can still get very overwhelmed. So I'm really impressed with how much they'd thought about that as well. So um, thank you everyone who organised Kamping Kitbash or was there and just made it the best. Um, I did. Well, let me slurp before my next monologue. My double-handed mug, the cooling tower. Look at it, beastly cooling tower. With its double coffee in there. I did joke a lot over the weekend about the non-threatening boys, and I did make a non-threatening boys club, which everyone was in that was a boy anyway. And I know I was kind of joking about it, but it's also another serious thing that I felt so safe there. And a few other people, well, everyone basically, but have specifically sort of said it. Um, oh, hang on, Mangling Minis is off. Bye, Tara. Bye. Bye, non-threatening boy. Um, Yes, I think if anyone can be a non-threatening boy if they want. I'll open it up if they want, but they have to be non-threatening. That's the only. Um, but like the fact you're staying in a hostel with people that you don't really know, and all that could potentially be terrible, but isn't terrible. It was so nice. No one at the entire weekend. Nobody weirded me out. Nobody made me feel uncomfortable. Um, no one was just a dickhead. No one where you're like, oh god, that guy sort of thing. And that was really special because it's very hard, I feel, to gather that many people and not have anyone that's just like, nope. And I did feel like if there was anyone that I had got issue with, it would have been dealt with, rather than just like, it's just the way they are. So that again, I was just like, I've had like just such a positive experience. And it was a mix, it was a whole mix of genders, but specifically focusing on the men. To have that many that many in one place and nobody make me go, I don't like this, was really good. And it's kind of given me a nice faith in humanity sort of thing, which was really, really cool. So all that's why I've been like, because there's a lot, and I think almost it gets worse because I specialise in the women in history. I'm constantly reading about how terrible men have been and are, and it does get a bit like bloody hell. So to be reminded that there's really nice blokes out there, and I'm sure like all of you lot are all could all be in the non-threatening boys club. Um, it's nice, I go to events where there's a lot of dodgy blokes sometimes, and I think, oh, what I always think of like who's really nice, but then as soon as the women leave, does the conversation turn or something like that? And I messaged someone and said it was 4 in the morning, right, in the pub, and no one was talking about cheating on their wife. Wow, this is great. This shouldn't be surprising, but it is. Like they're still talking about their favorite goblin, and yeah, that's just kind of really like filled my heart. It's really nice. Um, so it was a lot of. I feel like the weekend did put a lot of plasters over bits in my brain and heart, and just like nice little plasters with little love hearts on. I just thought it was really lovely. And Yeah, it's just so nice. I can talk about some other things. For 44 minutes. Yeah, it was. I just kept saying it's just like the brain all lighting up, going like, "Ee." um, and and maybe the nature of that sort of meetup, because I'm very defensive of tournament gaming when people say tournaments are all arseholes, but you do get those people at tournaments, and it can be a bit of a roll the dice of what the crowd's going to be like. But maybe that's because of the competitive nature of it or something. Um, it doesn't mean all competitive people are uh, terrible, but there's going to be terrible people. But if you're just there to create and there's no, yeah, again, that no end goal sort of thing, maybe that won't attract so much of those sort of people. You don't. Flor says, oh, Aline says, Hannah pointed out a beautiful thing. There were some talks about genders, and they were great, and all the other talks were great too. Just like existing instead of needing to apologise or explain. Yes, just nice. The next day, we went on the final day because we had no Kitbash. It was all over. And they put a lot of effort into things like the opening ceremony with, with dry ice. We had to walk through the tunnel of, let's say, darkness of smoke, and we had Pebbles, the little goblin. Um, it was just. But on the Monday, Chicken's tabletop. I need to message you because I said I would message you, but I was in the middle of I was in the middle of Ghent, and I went, and I think it was late, and I went, I will message you tomorrow, and I didn't, but I will actually message you, because I'm doing some stuff with Chicken's tabletop crafting, which also reminds me before I forget, if you took a photograph on, we had a photo set up there, and I put up the John Hodgson backdrop books. So if you took a photo there, if you could do a little shout out somewhere on to his handiwork games or John Hodgson backdrops. Um, that was that blah. That's who they were. Provided by me, because I provided some quite a few bits actually, secretly. I was like a secret sponsor. But now I've said it. I would like I'd like praise for being a sponsor now, please. Not as much as the actual um, but yeah, so check out John Hodgson's stuff, and he also does loads of really nice creative thingies as well. Um, so yeah, you should go check them out. Um, what was I at? We went around Ghent on Monday. I said, let's all just go this way. Let's see what's over here. Oh, look, it's a castle. I'll be damned. So I took, we all went, which, well, all, a whole bunch of people went that were still there. Went round Ghent Castle, which is Gravenstein, which I was saying to someone yesterday. I hesitate to give um, uh, a 10 out of 10 on a castle because that's. But I think I'd give it a 9.5. Maybe it was a very good castle, and the talkie thing was very hilarious. You know what I mean. Um, those sleepy drugs are kicking in again now. The like listening device thingy that was hilarious. So Gravenstein Castle, very nice. I took Eleanor of Aquitaine. I took a whole bunch of pictures of her there, that were really lovely, and found out that the castle was owned by her niece, not anymore because she's very long dead. So my what's it? My new mission is just to link every castle to Eleanor of Aquitaine somehow. I think it can be done. Um, so that's really fun. And I almost bought a book that was all in Dutch, but I decided not Dutch, not Dutch. Actually, don't know what it was in. Um, I should I should find it and send to people because it looks really good. But I was also thinking of do I go all the way to Belgium and buy a massive hardback book because that's a very typical Annie move, but I didn't. Yeah, but there's some really nice art around the place as well. I've got a few things that aren't Camping Kitbash, but I'm sure it'll all come back to Camping Kitbash. What? The students occupied the castle in 1980. when they weren't allowed to drink beer anymore, won after 3 days of the police not being. Is that real? That's amazing. Mm. Um, what am I at? So I'm just looking at stuff. There's loads of comments going on. This is good. This is good. We played Mork Borg, which I've not played before because I'm really hard to get hold of. And so it was nice to play a game. Um, and I got to play as Turkey Man. Look at that! You didn't expect to see that on Sunday morning. Oh, butts, Turkey Man butts. So we've got the red bubble shop with all the merch. So you should go on that. I can't remember if I've added it into the bottom link yet. I need to add it to my link tree also. Um, But stickers, things like stickers and badges on there can get expensive. So I did print off. I've got made a load of lesser quality. They're not as holdy out as the the sort of shiny ones. But if you want a cheaper Turkey Man sticker, I'm going to put them in for like a quid or something on the shop. But I was giving those away, so we've got Turkey Man butts. But I also got a nice. It's not wonky. It's a circular one. So, but I did have to cut them out of the sheet. That's why they were cheaper. Woo! I also the goggles do nothing. I also got to as the desserts to that. I also got some pig stickers made as well, so they were getting given out. But I paid. There's. I was going to do a turkey roast dinner. I can't now. Um. I played as Turkey Man in Mork Borg, which was very fun, and it did develop some extended Turkey Man lore. And thank you very much to Narcoleptic Wizard there for running that game because it was very fun, and he's very good at voices, and it was just all very silly. And again, I'm just like um, other things that have happened this week. You're not allowed to go because I will talk about Kitbash. I'll weave more Kitbash things in, but I need to talk about some other things as well. But they're all fun things. If anyone crosses you in real life, just so go, I'm playing the Turkey Man, and they go, whoa, whoa, I didn't realize you were a. You're like, yeah, yeah, you step back now. So I got back very late Monday after getting the last saying goodbye to people in little droves. Um, saying goodbye um, to the boys in London, and we were just down to me and Pablo to get the last bit back. You can keep your weak Asuna reverse cards. Yeah, got that. It's like the killer one. Thank you Ellen for that about Belgian stuff. That is cool. Um, and then translate the entire book for me, please. Pablo isn't a boy. He was the final boy. The final boy. To do the journey back. He was getting poorly by then. He was getting really poorly, bless him. So we pretty much like died on the last train back. Um, then Tuesday I was in bed. Wednesday I went to work. Um, what happened Wednesday? Caught up on lots of stuff. What have we got here? Caught on lots of stuff. Um, Friday Thursday was Andy's birthday. He will watch this on catch up. And say happy birthday to my housemate Andy. He's 40 now. He's a 40-year-old man. And we had a little party for him at TSN Arena with Honest Wargamer Rob and Louise and a bunch of the regulars there. And Pablo. So I see Pablo again, like, yay, come back. That was really fun. Um, so I did use a chunk of Thursday planning because Andy is like both my husband and my son in this weird arrangement that we have. So sort his birthday party out for him. And Friday was in, and I was starting to feel a bit ooh. But I was meeting up with Paige from America, who'd come all the way from America to play Necromunda with some people. Um, and I believe he'll be watching this back at some point because he did mention watching the show. And he collected a bunch of stuff. We had a chat. I was sad that we couldn't have a longer chat. One, because I didn't have any milk, so I couldn't make him a coffee. And two, because I was starting to feel a bit under the weather, so I didn't want him to be too poorly. Um, And he gave me this. Yes. Yes. Harriet. And I don't know who any of the others are. So this is in my forward reading sort of books where I'm not doing anything like right now, but I want to at some point. So thanks for that. It was nice to sort of show them around, get some compliments. I love a compliment. Always never think, oh no, I don't want to compliment Annie. It might be a bit much. Just compliment me. I thrive. I need the validation. So he got me that, which was excellent. Chickens, the package has not arrived yet, but send me some tracking if you got it. So chickens is sending me something very nice. I'm sure it'll arrive next week. Um, no doubt, which is exciting. Yeah, let me know. Send me a thing if you've got any tracking or whatever. I also got a package just before I left. I got two packages. I got one from Berlin Tuesday of his MK2 waterfall, which is beautiful. And I got a surprise package from F for Freddy Terra Firma. Did I take a little photo of it? Can't remember if I did. Chicken in the mail, chicken in the mail. Can't remember if I took a picture before I left, but I will be taking some proper pictures with it. F for Freddy, yeah, I could scroll, there's a trillion pictures on here. F for Freddy sent me a lovely gift of, oh yes, you'll have to tell them because I've forgotten already. A downed plane painted in the Squiddo colours with guinea pigs all over it. And it's so cool. I was like, what's this extra parcel that's arrived today? Oh my god. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of proper photos of that because it's hilarious and amazing, and I really appreciate it. It's like, oh, presents at Ace, handmade minis presents, top tier. Thank you very much. That's Joe and Adam at F for Freddy Terra Firma. Check them out. They're the ones I keep buying all the sort of World War II scenics from, and they're very nice. There we are. F for you, Corsair with pigs. And there's a pig driving it as well, which is amazing. So I will be posting up some photos. I want to take a whole bunch of photos. I've still got the Stairway to Heaven from Midgard James, and he's given me that for months to take photos with. And last time I saw him, he went, "Oh, I can collect it back." I'm like, "Oh, no, not yet." Um, Hey, Ellen's got to go, but thanks for coming. Thanks for coming in. It was lovely to meet you. And hang out, and you should subscribe, and then and then we can be internet friends. Yay! Um, so yeah. What have I got on here? Yes, the Kickstarters. The Kickstarters have all shipped. There's like a couple that haven't because they were laties that just put them in like Friday or something. A few people that haven't done their pledge manager. But the already subscribed page, oh, thank you. Oh, people do know who I am. Oh, that's always a shock. I'm like, oh, I need to explain who I am and what I do. Because no one would know any of that. Zelentis got to go as well. Sounds amazing. Yes, you should come to an event. The people we were hanging with um, were the people we were brain. The people we were hanging with do lots of events with like Turnip 28, Necropolis, Tonks, other thing, A for Punk. A for Punk, that's Narcoleptic Wizard there. And I want to get to some of those events because if the people are as nice as this, then it's got to be Ace. Oh God, knew me from before. What? Um, my brain is melting. Oh yeah, the Kickstarter is shipped. It's shipped. Woo! Which also means I've put it onto the website. I did a newsletter. I did a newsletter yesterday. Um, oh yes, there's lots of discords for all these. I did. I've been joining some more. I've been joining some people's Patreons. I joined the Mangling Discord yesterday. Yes, James says Necropolis curious excuse to do cool dioramas. Yeah, it's all just people that just want to have fun. So yeah, I should get a list of all these. Is there a list somewhere of all of them? But where am I going to go with the next bits? Kickstarter, yes, all the minis are on the website. I've kind of soft launched it, so I haven't made a big deal anywhere yet because they're not ready. They're not ready for the retailers. They'll all want them, but I haven't done the packaging yet for the retail packaging. but you should, if there's anything you missed, or you missed the Kickstarter, or there's something where you went, I can't remember if I would have wanted that because it was really blurry. Some of the pictures are really blurry sculpt photos, so I'm really glad that you backed based on that. But they're all painted now, so you can see them in a different light. Um, so have a look. It would help me out a lot. It sure would. If you could purchase some of those. I've got lots of big bills. Um, so have a look on them. I don't have any of the backdrop books in stock at the moment, but you can pre-order them because we're getting a reprint with the new books. Dun, dun, dun. You can't leave because it's so fun here. It's so lovely. You may not leave. Um, so all those are out. So there's lots of new stuff on the thing. Potato Pete and Dr. Carrot are back in stock. Also, if you are from the mainland and want some bad Squiddo stuff, and you think, I got to order that stuff, there's lots of EU retailers, including Battlefield Berlin, who do a lot of stuff. Bye. I'm not going. I've got a few more minutes yet. Kickstarter minis are out. Olga of Kiev is being finished. I got a message from Alan saying frickin' pigeons. So he says they're just taking a lot longer because the way he's building them up. You've got to wait for the putty to dry in between. We've had a surprise extra miniature, which I can't talk about at the moment, but somebody has paid for an additional miniature. Da, da, da. Nils says, can you do a web list on the website? There is one already. So if you go on the website, I think it's in like the About tab. It's not very clear, so I probably need to sort that out. There's a thing that says retailers. It's not all of them, but it's all the ones I know about. Um, so have a look in there, and you can always pester your local shop as well, to either come to me direct or to North Star, who are my distributors. So I don't know every shop that North Star distributes to, which is why occasionally I find one and put it on the website. Chickens has got to go. Yes, I will message you, and I'll definitely let you know when the package comes because that's going to be really exciting. People sending me cool handmade post things. Yes, this is amazing. Spinning now, spinning to keep myself awake. Definitely going to have a little nap after this. New Scenics packs. That's for another time. I've started a range of retail friendly collections, a bit like the Spooky Scenics. That's happening. The relaunch of the um, community minis project will be. It's actually I'm not late on it. It's going to be after all the Olga's, Marys, and Anne's are all shipped out because then it will be a clear slate to do the relaunch, and then that's where I'm going to do like fireworks everywhere and be like, look at this, everyone, the community miniatures project. I think that. So, oh yes, somebody sent me a link on Instagram to this book because I'm going to do a miniature of the Beerka Warrior, and this is kind of it's from the exhibition, and it's kind of aimed at reenactors as well, but it has all close-up photos of everything found in the grave, and then reconstructions of what they would have looked like. Jez, this might be your cup of tea. So this has arrived from Sweden, and I'm already getting stuck into that because I want to throw her in as a random release. I kind of want to do the other Graves people, but I'm just going to do her for now because I love the specifics of the gear that she was wearing as well. So that's going to be wicked, and yeah, it goes into detail of like this thing. We don't have any evidence of this, but this is probably the thing, or this is the thing that's definitely there. It's gone over an hour. It's gone over an hour. And thank you everyone for coming along. Thank you anyone who comes on later and watches this on catch up. I'm really full of love for the hobby and humanity at the moment because there are really nice people. You just got to find them or put on little events that lures them out because a lot of us are quite hermity. So if you can lure us out, I was going to say like some sort of bug, then we can all have a lovely time. And yeah, it's just made me really happy. It's good ways like reminds me why I love all this so much. And I hope that I can sort of pass some of that on to you rather than just going, I had a really good holiday. Um, it's just just wicked. And I've already lured some of the non-threatening boys to help me with some War Pigs gun playtesting, which will be soon as well. So there's lots happening. So the next big things are War Pigs and World War II Resistance, the two very joined sort of things. Yeah, I need to have a little sleep. Oh, MJ went to a pop culture expo yesterday. It was the same vibe. You know what it also reminds me of? PonyCon, when I went to that twice, despite having no interest in My Little Pony. People at PonyCon, again, it's just like, you just get to be yourself. It's nothing wrong with liking a show about ponies, but people have an issue with it. So for all these people that just really love ponies, all to be in the same place, cosplaying, doing impressions, whatever, they're just like, it's just so nice. And I've realized that is my absolute favorite thing, just people enjoying themselves, not hurting anyone, doing something that maybe somewhere else people would be really crappy about it, but just being comfortable to do it. It's just really nice. Right, I'm getting out of here to go horizontal. Whoop. Thanks for coming along. Subscribe, 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 like. Yes, yes. Might get more viewers this time. Woo. Thanks for coming along. Check out my other videos. And I'll see you. Goodbye. I don't want to go. See you, friends, friends. But also sleep. Got some toast. Bye.